Welcome to Left-Stick-Right-Stick's Little Nightmares story narration. This is Chapter 1, The Prison. In the darkness emerges a figure. Female figure. As it turns around, what is a sense of fear? It was a nightmare. 6 awoke from the nightmare, feeling a sense of amnesia. Who was that woman? And where was she? She had a feeling she had to find that woman. So she took out the lighter in her pocket and started running off, down the corridor, not knowing where she was. She found a little lamp, lit it up, provided her some warmth and some confidence. When he saw a hatch and she walked in through the tunnel, it seemed like a ventilation tunnel. But why was a ventilation tunnel so big compared to 6? At the end of the tunnel, 6 came to a vast area with a bridge, stairway. But in the distance she could see the chains, those massive chains, much larger than herself. What is this place, she thought? Why is everything so much larger? She's looking around the area, nothing, until she came across this doll. It looked like the woman in her nightmare. She had a animosity about her, that she broke the doll. Cautiously she went on into the next room, where it was dripping with water and damp. And clearly this room had seen better days, and probably no one had been here for a while. Jumped along, she found the bread very springy, and made her forget what she was doing. Then, after a few bounces, she realized, no, I must go on. This is no time for having fun. She climbed through the wall. What she saw next disturbed her. A man hung from the ceiling. She was only big enough to see her legs. Couldn't see what was above, but they had really tall legs. Unlike 6, who had to use the chair to jump up to open the next door. The next room was very dark. In the center, it's filled with some sludge. 6 walked along it without any fear, but it felt weird. The stickiness. The fridge. She tried to open it. She was starting to get hungry. There was nothing there except for something scuttled out. 6 followed it along, chasing after it. It had hidden into the wall. 6, being small enough, followed it through the cracks. What was that? She saw it huddled next to the lamp. She lit up the lamp and gave it some warmth. There was nothing here. Just a secret room. It was scared, but 6 gave it a hug. She felt it needed some warmth. It was then that she remembered that these beings were called the gnomes. What they were, she could not remember, but she remembered that they were called the gnomes. Walking back out to the other room, she decided, I can see that I can climb up this fridge. She needs to find her way out of this place and to find that lady in her nightmares. What was it about her that instilled so much fear in 6? Fear and anger. She had to find out. 6 was curious. Why could she not remember? And where was this dark, depressing place she was? All crumbled away, floorboards all gone. Flipped the switch to open the gate. It seemed very industrious here. Pipes, metalwork everywhere. In the next room, oh, she was trapped. The door closed behind her. What would she do? The way forward seemed blocked by boards, and the gate, metal gate, had closed behind her. What was she gonna do? She tried to climb up the wooden boarding, but she had no strength. But luckily, the floorboard at the bottom was loose and she pulled it away, revealing another hole for her to climb through. All the wooden flooring seemed precarious. Another gnome had come, but oh no! The unstable floor gave way. 6 fell down into a puddle of sludge. What was this sludge? This black sticky goop, surrounded by leeches. What was 6 gonna do? Oh! Surrounded, she had to weave her way in and out between the leeches in this dreadful room. She rushed away, jumping out to the next room. And wow, this room had almost all crumbled away. The flooring had mostly gone. Luckily, where she opened the door, there was still some flooring. She climbed up, so that was the only way to go. She found another gnome. She chased after it. But in a hurry, she fell off the beam. She had to be more careful next time. She could have fallen to her death. This dark place, 6 had to rely on her trusty lighter to see in the dark. It's very scary here for 6. She could not remember where she was, why she was here. Eerie sounds of the wind blew in the background, and some groaning sounds, probably from the pipes and what else was in this place. She found the door, but it was locked, so she had to find another way. Her lighter only could provide a very narrow field of view. She couldn't see very far, but she noticed a pulley wheel nearby. Hoping it'd be good, she opened it, and there was light, yes! Maybe this opened the door, but as she let go, the light started to slip away. She had to run for it, jumping over that gap that had been there before. Was she trapped in another room? But luckily there was a ventilation pipe. She tried to open it. Oh, another gnome. Gnomes are everywhere here. 6 chased after it. But where was this? 6 expected another little hidden room, but this was a vast area. And who was that? That large, long-armed man, dragging a cage behind him. The darkness, the sounds, were all beginning to worry 6. What was this place she was in? And what was that man? How come she could not remember anything? She stepped in, she realized she was in a washroom of some sort. It was a hand basin, but why was it so much taller than her? She walked through. Ah, the toilets. No wonder it stank. She tried to close the door. Don't know why she did that. Because the stench probably could have helped her was being blown away through that. Saw a switch on the side of the wall. Decided to flip it. But she was not tall enough to jump up, so she had to drag a box of toilet roll over. The power was out, which is good, seeing as there was a walkway that was electrified earlier. Where's this room that she's in? Ooh, playroom, it seems. There's play blocks, alphabet blocks, a seesaw and swings. This is a playroom. As the light came on, 6 started to feel, hey, this feels familiar. Have I been here before? What is this room? As 6 walked on, she noticed another doorway that had been electrified. She'd had to go back, flip the switch again, and hopefully she could get through there fast enough. But how would she get past? Now the door was electrified again, but the power had returned. 6 walked on, she notices a hole in the wall above the drawers. She has to pull on the doors to try and climb up. She makes her way through back to the toilets, thinking, this room is definitely familiar. It must have been here before. So 6 stumbles along, flips the switch again, and this time she dashes for it. Not knowing when the power would turn back on, as it had previously just now. She just ran, hoping to not trip over anything as she went along. Yes, She's making it. She made it. And just in time, with a little bit to spare, the power came back on. What was this? What was in this corridor? There's so many doors. It's like this is a dormitory. These were just bedrooms. She walked along. 6 was still confused. She still could not remember anything about herself and her surroundings. In this room, there was a light that was ominously glaring back and forth like a patrol light, and she notices bodies petrified there. It was best not to go in the light. Luckily for 6, there was a bed there. This place seemed more like a prison than anything else. 6 climbed up the stacked boxes. She could see a gnome hidden in the corner of her eye, but she did not have time to worry about that right now. 6 wanted to make sure that she was out of the way of this petrifying eye. She climbed up. It seemed like the row of prison rooms increased. She walked towards the door, but then realized maybe one of these rooms is open. We should have a look, see what is inside. The curiosity got better of 6. Inside, she was fearful of what she would find. She walked in. Black sludge covered the floor underneath the bed. What was all of this? What had happened here? She also notices the lady doll. Again, in anger, she broke it against the wall. What she saw was distressing. 6 ran off, out the room. Worried, what is this place? This prison? 6 remembered the gnome that she had noticed in the corner. She dropped down to try and find it, to see if they would be able to provide any answers. They could not talk. In the secret room, 6 noticed there was a painting of the gnomes. This made her even more curious. What were these gnomes? What were they doing here? Why are they hiding in these secret rooms in the wall? She gave it a hug, as if to say this is alright, but it was more to reassure herself that things would be okay. Back along her path, 6 went, knowing that all her questions would be answered if she'd found the lady. She walked on towards the next room. As soon as she entered the next room, it was dark, bed-filled room. 6 hid. Someone had entered the room. She didn't know she should be there, hiding underneath the bed in the dark. This was the man she saw earlier. So much larger than herself. But how could he navigate this room so dark? Maybe he was blind. Who was this man? Was he there to look after these people in the beds? And who are these children? 6 did not want to wake them up in case she caused a commotion. She carried on. As she walked along, she remembered something. That man was the janitor. He looked after the children of the moor. She was in the moor. Things were coming back to 6 as she walked through the tunnels. This ventilation tunnel. Things were coming back to her. She was in the moor. But what was the moor? She did not know. And that was the janitor who looked after the children. But he was blind. He didn't know what he was doing. He looked after the people in the bed. All this thinking got 6 hungry. Hunger pains were setting in. 6 was losing energy. She walked along. She realized she was passing through the lunch hall. Passing by the lunch hall. Knowing that this was the lunch hall just made her even more hungry. 6 was gradually losing energy. The hunger increasingly set in. But look, there was someone there. They could hear 6's hunger pains and stomach growling. 6 could barely move now. The man threw her some bread. 6 gobbled it up quickly, and as soon as she gobbled it up, all of her power and energy was regained. But the lights were flickering as she ate. 6 didn't take notice of that. Instead, she turned on her lighter, stared towards the man that gave her food, and thanked him. After a few seconds of thanks, 6 went on. Who was that man? Why did they give 6 food? More questions came to 6's mind. Just as soon as she had answered some questions about where she was, more questions came. This dark, damp shower room, leading on to a vast room which seemed to be a storage room, with lots of boxes and cages packed up high. Once again, her road was blocked by an electricity door. The only way for 6 to go on was to climb these boxes. But it was a dangerous task. If she fell, she would surely die. 6 walked on, not really knowing where she was going. But she found some confidence in knowing that she had answered some things that she had forgotten. She was in the mall, and that large man was the janitor. She knew deep down inside that she should avoid him, and that while he looked after the children, 6 did not want to be caught by the janitor. It seemed like on this cage, hanging from the ceiling was the only way to go. Nowhere down, so she went up. Up 6 climbed these chains. As she climbed, she was thinking, these cages seem awfully perfectly sized for myself. Why? Maybe it had something to do with the janitor and the children. They all were the same size as me. Other children there sleeping. But I had to find answers, was what 6 thought. Flipped the switch to see what they would do, and it brought the chain up and closer to 6. And as she looked over, she could see there was something to the far end. So maybe moving the chain over would help her proceed. As she did, the chain had brought her to another platform. She climbed up, jumped across. Where would this lead? 6 did not know. But her curiosity overpowered her sense of fear. She had to find out what she was doing here, and she knew that the lady in her nightmare was the answer to her problems. Seeing the switch on the wall, 6 thought she'd have to climb up this filing cabinet somehow to flip the switch, because she was not tall enough. Why was everything around her catered for someone clearly much larger than her? And why were all cages the same size as 6? Perfectly sized to cage 6 herself. She had no time to worry about these fears. She could just press on. She climbed up. She was starting to get tired. She flipped the switch. Power was out. These electricity doors she could now slip past. All the power had gone, which is good. 6 was hoping that the electricity door down below in the storeroom was also off now. She looked around, just a hole down in the center and a pulley system. She lit the lamp, revealing a caged gnome. She felt sorry for it. 6 went over to open the cage. Out it scuttled. 6 chased after it, wanting to reassure the gnome that everything was going to be alright. She had freed it now. It was free. She gave it a hug. Again, 6 did so to reassure herself more than reassuring the gnome that everything was alright. She pushed it down, hopefully the pulley system would bring something up, and luckily it did. A hook. 6 jumped on. Luckily she was heavy enough to make the pulley go down. Where would this lead? Where would she go to now? She slowly descended back down. This was the way that she was earlier, before the shower room. Large clang as she let go, and the weight came back down. Without the power, the leeches were here in the shower room. And the shower room was infested with leeches once more. Clearly, the electricity and the power is what keeping the leeches at bay. 6 scuttled along, quickly running, realizing that power could come back on at any moment, slipping through the bars. She came to another room, but she notices another flicker of light. There must be another security eye here. And more petrified bodies surrounded her. Not wanting to risk it, 6 decided to stay in the shadows. Luckily again, boxes created shadows for her to walk through. To quickly, slowly follow this cleaning bucket along to stay in the shadows. Was this light magical? Would it petrify 6? If she went on it, she did not know, but she ventured on, down the steps. But oh wait! This bridge that she was walking on was starting to retract. She had to run quickly, but as she reached the end, she was not tall enough to jump. To reach the end, she jumped onto the box, quickly. And she reached the door, she was thinking, luckily, I was fast enough and I still had the energy. Into the next room she walked. The door closed behind her. Oh no! Was she trapped again? But this is a dark room, much vast. She walked on, hoping that this dark room would be a break for her. Seeing the gnomes up ahead, 6 followed the gnomes through the door, not knowing what awaited her ahead in the mall. To find out, subscribe to Left Stick Right Stick for more episodes of Left Stick Right Stick's Little Nightmares narration.